Hey, this is Ryan with Disruptarian Radio. So I got doxxed again by about 500 people on the Big Island on Facebook, where I guess people are driving by my house and taking photos of my house. For reference, we have cameras all over, and we're obviously saving that to the cloud in case we need it. But they're doing it over this sticker, which is a bunch of names of a bunch of people killed by police, right? And they're not all black. You know, some of them are white. So apparently they say they're white supremacists because some of them are white. Just so you know, and even if you look at the pictures on Facebook, you're looking at people who are black, who are brown, Hispanic. You're looking at black. You're looking at a white kid who was 14 and got shot in the back. You're looking at another black guy, a black woman. This is a white guy. This is a white woman who was shot in her house holding a baby. These are all kinds of races because I'm not into the racism. I'm not into one side, one ethnicity or the other. When it comes to police killing people, incident per incident, white people are killed far more than black people are by police. And it's an issue that needs to be drawn attention to because we make it sound like there's just one ethnicity that's picked on when they're not, not any more than any other ethnicity. And that was my point. I've talked about it. I've shown the statistics. In fact, there's even a report, a peer-reviewed report, an article that the Washington Post posted showing that, incident per incident, white people are like 3 times more likely to get killed by police than black people. That's not, demographically, that's not population-wise, that's incident per incident. So it shows that in 2018, black people that make up 13% of the population were responsible for 50% of murders, and yet they were only killed by police, a quarter of the time of all police killings, where whites were killed like 3 times more, 300% more than black people were, incident per incident. And, it's not a race thing. It's not an ethnicity thing. We need to look at this as a whole picture that everybody is, at risk with these cops that are ill-trained. They don't have very much training. It takes them like 22 weeks to get through police academy training, right? It takes a cosmologist or whatever, one of these makeup applicators, like 5 times as long to get through school as it does for a police officer who's enforcing the law and, putting people's lives in danger possibly. And so that's what I've been trying to draw attention to. This has nothing to do with race. In fact, if you look at my chest here, I have a tattoo that says spear. I got it when I was 17. I made this little club, and it means skins and punks everywhere against racism, right? My wife's Native American. We don't have any race issues in our family. And, as far as this is concerned, you just have to look up the names. Just look them up. I'll read them off again. Rick Cutshaw, Gary Willis, Eric Gardner, Frank Ordonez, Kelly Thomas, Samuel Weaver, Duncan Lemp, Oscar Grant, Breonna Taylor, Robert Lavoy Finicum, Vicky Weaver. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 names, only 3 of them are white, right? So I'm drawing attention to everybody who has been clearly murdered by police. And that's what this is all about right here. We have this sticker too. 1 Hawaii, 8 islands, many peoples, right? And so there was a Boogaloo sticker in place of this right here, where it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, reopen Hawaii, forourrights.com. Right there I had a AR-15 and the word Boogaloo. Because I think that word, it's just a meme, it's not like a group, it unites people. You look at the internet, you look at the pictures of these people that are dressed in Hawaiian shirts and carrying AR-15s and exercising their Second Amendment rights, they're not much different than the Defend Hawaii people, right? These people that have AR-15s on their car and, they have the words Defend Hawaii, it's not much different than them. It's just less racist, in my opinion, because these aren't sovereignty people. These aren't, one ethnicity or the other people. The people that are sporting this gear are of all colors. Like the main guy that you see around is a black guy. He's carrying an AR-15, and he actually has this sticker, smaller, sticker, in his hand. And so, it's just an anti-racist statement to me. I'm not into this ethnicity's lives matter, that ethnicity's lives matter. We're all human, and all of our lives matter. And so that's my point of this. And so now I've got, you know, hundreds of people on like Big Island Popo and Stolen Stuff Hawaii, I think. What was the other one? Big Island Thieves, sharing this and doxing my house where my, you know, young children live. You know, that's why I have an AR-15, you know, and I always have. I have since 2013. It's because the cops aren't usually there to protect somebody. They're there to issue tickets. You know, obviously they're there for revenue generation, things like that, but they usually don't show up in a proper time frame with the proper amount of training to help somebody defend themselves. You know, and one case comes to mind, that guy in Maui bought a house, was just sitting there minding his own business at his house. 5 guys come over with shovels and beat the hell out of him, almost to death. They got off with time served. They spent like a couple months in jail or something, got off with time served. They were threatening to kill him. It was attempted murder. I mean, the way they beat him so savagely, and then nothing happened. So, of course, I want to defend myself. And this Boogaloo movement, you know, that is going around, it's not my movement. I don't really know anybody involved in it. It's just, you know, it's a non-racist, pro-Second Amendment movement that's against police tyranny and brutality and police murders. And that's what that means to me. So these people that are like, oh, this guy's racist, this guy's that, this guy. No, man. You know, that's what I've been resisting ever since I got here. Where it's like, oh, these people matter more, and these people's opinion count first, and these people this and that, and their genetic DNA, you know, belongs here, and yours doesn't. You know, in Hawaii, it's very racist here. You know, we just recently saw this. These cult members came, and this guy had this Instagram live, and I don't know much about them. I mean, they're probably pretty, you know, weird people. I don't know what their whole deal is, but I just know I seen on Instagram this one guy calling him the N-word, local Hawaiian guy. N-word this, N-word that, N-word this. And when you look at like the SPLC, right, Southern Poverty Law Center, they're not usually very gracious towards violence towards whites. They usually don't even report on it. But in Hawaii, they do, and they talk about the hate crimes that are going under or unreported, or, you know, being changed to crimes that aren't hate crime related, even though it's every definition of what a hate crime is. You know, and the SPLC is saying, you know, Hawaii has a racist problem and it's a hate crime problem, and, you know, it's going under or unreported, and it's against whites by locals, right? This is what they say on SPLC. Now, I've seen it. A lot of my friends have seen it. We got a group that I go to a lot, New Hawaiian on Facebook, and a lot of those guys have seen it too. A lot of them are not even white guys. A lot of them are local guys, right? Kanaka, who see this and talk about this. That there is a bias and a racist bias towards Caucasian people here in Hawaii. Now, they can blame anybody they want for Captain Cook or whatever else, but, you know, King Kamehameha brought those people in. You know, that had nothing to do with me. You know, my family's been coming here. My great-great-grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather was a merchant marine. He's been coming back and forth to Hawaii since the 1850s, you know. It's not that I believe any race does or doesn't belong here. I just believe we're all human. That's the core of this, and that's what this was all about. I mean, if somebody came to my property to hurt my kids, they would probably put themselves in danger, and I just want to make that clear. You know, we got plenty of cameras to document it in our cars, on our house, and plenty of ways to defend ourselves. I don't want it to come to that. Stay the fuck away.